I mean, it's one thing kind of going in at the beginning and doing consultation, people telling you that, and I'm sure there's lots of examples we could find up and down the country where people have done that, and then it all kind of dissipates and loses momentum. How did you kind of keep the momentum? How did you make that happen?
Well, this had to be an all-encompassing approach. So it started with staff recruitment and staff culture, with the fact that all of our adverts basically asked for a certain type of person, a proactive person, someone who has Jack Welch's 4 E's and the P, someone who really thrives on making a difference, a positive difference to people's lives, and making sure that the adverts and the job descriptions are all around that, and had an appraisal and competency framework which was all about a leadership approach, so that everybody had leadership responsibilities and had to take responsibility for what they did, but they were allowed to make decisions. We had a culture where challenge was the norm, so my staff would come and challenge me, and likewise I could challenge them. No one would be offended, and changing things without a bureaucratic process was really, really important. Usually the communications which were worked up and down the organisation were structured. I'm a great believer in what gets measured gets done. So we'd measure what staff were feeling, we'd measure what their issues were and do something about it. We'd measure the agendas and all of the communications to make sure everybody got the same message and that they took ownership of what was going on. And that was a congruent type of leadership approach, because at the same time we had management and leadership development courses. All staff were having a 16 PF psychometric test to make sure that they were self-aware and if they had any blind spots, moving that on with the leaders to a Belbin approach. And then once we got that in place, we had a good to great, which is the Jim Collins book of what can we be great at Byker, and the staff came up with we can be great at community engagement. Well, why wouldn't we? And we concentrated on that with the right people on the bus moving in the right direction.